So this is the second podcast episode. Again, I'm using used footage because I have a lot of stuff to record, and I didn't feel like recording all day, just games. I wanted to spend some time with my family and watch some Christmas stuff or do something. Okay, I just don't want to be bound to just recording all day. But this is the second podcast episode. I want to give a huge shout out to my friends Torrin and Cayden for, coming on here and being able to just do this. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Again, another video coming out tomorrow. I'm actually staying consistent. But hopefully this one doesn't take as long as the first one. I don't know what was going on with the first one, but it took forever. And, but hopefully you guys enjoy. See ya. Okay. So, welcome back. I'm here with Warrensburg's CSA dancers. So let's start off. What made you guys get into dance?
I was 2 years old, and we're a military family. We just moved on to Whiteman, and really there wasn't much else to do at the time, so my mom enrolled me in a dance class. And then when we moved to Knob Noster, my mom found Center Stage, and then the rest is history.
Yeah, basically my mom did it whenever she grew up. So she put my sister in it when she was little, and she did the same with me, and I never quit. So
yeah,
that's
pretty
valid.
much
Still
same
doing
thing.
it.
So, what was your guys' opinion of the Nutcracker video that I made?
I thought it was amazing.
So good. 10 out of 10.
It was so funny.
Yeah, I tended to exaggerate a lot of the things that happened, especially Mother Ginger. I don't know how many kids there were. 96 was definitely not the answer,
I
though.
agree.
There were like 6.
But yeah, 6 to 8, but it's okay. That's the effect.
Yeah. So, what do you think has been the hardest part for dance for you guys?
Probably just being around other people that are really good. You don't always feel the most confident in yourself, but,
I agree. I mean, I had to take a year out after I had all my knee issues, but coming back, even now, has probably been pretty hard to come back to because, I just have to pick up where everybody else is at, and I can't really backtrack, but...
Would you say you guys have ops at Center Stage?
What do you mean by that?
Like, would you say they're, like...
I never understood what the word op means.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Op is, like...
I heard somebody say that, genuinely recently, and I was like, you're 14, don't say that.
No, so, your ops are, people who, you don't tend to get along with, or, they have it out for you?
I mean, there's going to be those people everywhere. It doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah,
I would say I don't really get along with everybody there, but I don't hate anybody. I can have a conversation with pretty much everybody there.
Yeah, I'm nice to everyone. Everyone's nice to me.
I was going to say, I don't really have beef
So,
with anyone, I
you
guess.
don't, would you say that, there's certain friend groups or, certain people that hang around each other at Center Stage, or would you say it's, everyone pretty much hangs out with everyone equally?
I feel like it's if you ever go to a family reunion, you would mostly hang around with, your sibling or your really close cousins.
Mm-hmm.
But, you could still talk to anyone. I feel
I
like it's
agree.
like that.
I feel like there's always been kind of that tight-knit group. Me personally, I can probably interact with everybody there for the most part, but I wouldn't say I'm part of a group. But I mean, it's no different from here at school. There's always going to be those groups of people that hang around each other.
Would you say, Center Stage, was kind of an open road to get you guys to do show choir, or was that kind of just you guys picked it up on your own?
I can't remember why I chose to do show choir, especially looking back. I don't know what made me want to do that. But I think it was just, because I knew other people in it from Center Stage. And so I was like, might as well.
I mean, I've been in choir since 6th grade, just traditional choir, and then I know Kelly Gilpin, Haley's cousin, she and Malia Callahan were like, hey, you dance, you sing, you should do it. And I was like, okay. And, I've just been in it since then. I mean, I enjoy it. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't be in it, but yeah, I would say that's probably what got me into it.
Yeah, I kind of got into it because after I had a solo don't know if you guys remember, I had a solo at one of the winter concerts. And then right afterwards, Scott Triplett came up and was like, hey, some good singing. You should do show choir. And I was like, okay, Scott. And then everyone started asking me, so I kind of like felt like I was forced to do so.
Yeah.
Would you say, like, show choir is, like, if we were to put our choreo into, like, a level of, like, CSA, I don't know if there are levels when it comes to dancing, but, like, what level would you say it is at?
Probably like an intermediate, I feel like. Because there's, like, novice, intermediate, and advanced. And it's mostly based off of what age you are. Like, the 6-year-olds are novice. The middle school and elementary schools are...
And I feel like it even varies with the choreographer, too.
Yeah, that too.
Like, Rochelle especially is more, like... I would say she's more of competitive dance style teaching than Emily is.
Well, it's more just hip-hop than anything.
Yeah, that too.
Wait, was Rochelle the one that choreographed the ones we didn't like? Was that Emily?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She was the one who choreographed 2 and 4. Emily did, or 2 and 3. Emily did 1 and 4.
Okay. All right. How would you say, like, dance has affected your guys' life personally?
I feel like it's definitely put me in, like, at least at, like, school, it's put me in a group of people. And more just, like, I know these people through dance. And, like, I can just talk to them because I know them through that. I just feel like with that, it's just helped with relationships and whatnot, just outside of dance.
I feel like it's kind of just been a big chunk of my life. Like, it takes up a huge majority of my time, but not enough to where it's, like, overbearing. Like, I enjoy doing it. I mean, I've been doing it since I was, like, 2. But, I mean, kind of what Cayden said, it's just, I know people. I can go up to people and be like, hey, you dance, I dance, conversation, you know, that kind of thing.
Did you see you guys, like, going into, like, something like I know a big professional group like the Rockettes, or, like, being a dance teacher, just, like, doing it outside of high school? Or do you think, like, after high school it's just, like, you're done?
I don't know, I feel like it's definitely a case-by-case sort of thing. Because some people, like... I mean, for starters, it's really hard to get a job in the arts. And then once you do, it's, like, you don't really get paid.
Yeah.
But, like, last year, pretty much every senior went into arts. But this year, I don't think maybe one is thinking about it. But other than that, like, most people are... I want to, like, stick with it somehow, but not going to, like, major.
I
in it or
agree.
anything.
I would like to stay in the arts, but I don't think I would make a career out of it.
Yeah.
I think both of you could be good at choreographing.
Thanks, Kate.
Maybe. I mean, over the years for Prism, I kind of have. Sort of. But I don't think I could do it as, like, a full-time thing. It's more of just, like, a spur of the moment. Like, if we need, like, an 8 count, I can do that, but I don't think I could do a whole routine. I think it would stress me out too much.
I was, like, sort of, like, halfway, but not, like, officially asked to be a dance teacher for, like, 2 or 3 classes this year. And I was like, I couldn't come up with a dance. I'm not going to do that.
I remember my one friend, Olivia Jane, she had to choreograph something last year. Who would you say, like, as of right now, like, who would be, like, your guys' top 3 when it comes to dancers, like, at CSA?
Probably, I mean, I have my top 3. I don't know about you.
I think Mika is probably one of our strongest dancers. I feel like it really depends on the style of dance, though. I don't think I could really place them.
No, I'm definitely going to place the top 3, but I would say top 3 is probably Mika, Maddie, and Ava, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, overall, yeah, I would agree. But I feel like it could vary depending on the style.
I remember talking to Mika about it. She said Maddie was really good at jazz.
Yeah, Maddie is really good at jazz. Jazz, hip-hop, all those things. She's really good at those.
And then Mika said she was good at, like, ballet and waltzes and stuff like that, so classical.
I agree. I think Mika's one of our strongest in ballet, if not the strongest dancer we have with ballet and all that. I mean, if that wasn't clear for Nutcracker, so.
Yeah. Were you guys, like, happy with your roles in the Nutcracker?
I mean, I'm not on point, so I was very limited, but I've wanted Mother Ginger for a couple years. I just never had the time to audition, so.
You wanted to be the frickin' 7 Shaquille O'Neal giant.
No, actually, when I was in middle school, I wanted to be Mouse Queen. I don't remember who was Mouse Queen when I was one of the mice. But I wanted to be Mouse Queen for a couple years, and then everything with my knees happened, and I was like, probably shouldn't go on point. So then I was like, okay, what role could I do? And then I was like, hey, let's just do Mother Ginger. It would be fun, you know? And it was. I really enjoyed it, so.
What about you, Cayden?
I think with me, well, I sort of knew that I would be expected to be like Nutcracker, just because I was the only one that could do it. But with Candy Cane, I think I was like a freshman. That was the first time I got like a actual role, and so I started thinking like, what role would I want? And then Candy Cane came out of that. Pretty much ever since then, I was like, I want to be Candy Cane.
It was really good, too.
So.
Yeah, I remember watching. I was just like when everybody was dancing and everything, I was just like in awe about like how you guys like managed to choreograph. I don't know how long you guys practiced it for, but it looked very good.
It was like since September.
Yeah, something like that.
Like every
pretty much
weekend.
since the season started for the most part.
Didn't you guys go to state last year?
Go to what?
Define
That's not how that
state.
works.
Or not state, nationals.
Nationals.
Yes.
Well, nationals aren't like a.
It's not like, yeah,
thing.
it's
You
not
go
like a
every,
sports
well,
to state
for
thing.
our studio, we go every other year and just take every dance and.
Okay,
They're a bit
so-
more. There's what the thing is that there are regionals and nationals. So regionals, you have to be like within a certain amount of time from the competition, but nationals you can be from anywhere. So typically there are more people at nationals and there are better people at nationals. So it's not necessarily different in terms of like the structure of it, but it is harder to do better, basically.
Which even then, they have the option to do nationals every year. Like there's on the calendar, we have nationals this year, but they won't take group routines. It'll be like, if you want to, you could take your solo duet trio if you wanted to. But yeah, every other year is a national year. Like last year is technically our last national year if we don't do it this year for like solos and such.
Would you say like nationals, is like, you know the show Bring It?
No.
Okay, so pretty much the premise is it's a bunch of these dancers and they go to all these competitions and they pretty much compete for like first place trophies and everything. Would you say like nationals is like more or less, would you say it's like marching band, like how you guys get scored and everything?
I mean, yeah, they're like different categories that you get scored on, and then there are 3 judges, and they like add them up, and then whoever has the best score gets the highest things.
Which, I mean, it's the same
These
with
places.
pretty much regionals and nationals are roughly the same.
I think nationals has more. Like,
Yeah, I think nationals has more to
like
judge
because there are
off of.
things called like adjudications,
Yeah.
which are like sections of scores, and you get certain awards based on like what section of scores you did in. And I think in nationals they're like the highest one is smaller, so it's harder to get the highest one. But
I remember last year you guys had a lot of male dancers. This year you only have like a few.
I think we have more this year than last year.
I think they're all just younger.
Well, actually, no. There were 4 last year and there were 4 this year. But 2 of them left and 2 of them joined. But they
Yeah.
are all younger.
Yeah, they're all younger.
Like last year there were 3 junior seniors. Now there's 1. So
Yeah, how do you feel about that? You gotta take the role of like
I mean,
a lot of the
really
dudes.
I
care.
feel like you've kind of expected
really-
it for a while now.
I mean, yeah, I knew it was gonna happen. I didn't really care. I was like, eh.
Because it's been that way for a couple years at least.
I remember when my sister was in ballet, I was like 7 or 8. I hated going to the recital because I would have to go to every one, and it was like 5 hours long, and it would be like 3
It's like 2 or
days.
3.
No, I'm exaggerating, but it was very long. I just remember I was like, bro, why do I even have to be here? And then I remember they would like give first place like trophies on the who did the best.
No, they wouldn't.
No, I remember like they would rank them or something. I might have been remembering wrong.
You are. They don't do that at
Not for
recitals.
recital, no.
Not for recital.
Because recital is just showing off all the
Yeah,
dances.
recital's just end of the year. Hey, this is what we've done all season.
Oh. Then it might have been something else.
Yeah.
But I remember like being there, and I remember seeing Cayden, and he did a duet dance with somebody.
What year was that?
This was like 2014, 2015.
I don't remember you doing a duet.
I mean, they don't even have duets at recitals, so
Oh.
they would do one anyway.
Am I not-
Unless it's like seniors, but even then it's like iffy.
I remember seeing Cayden dance with someone. It might have not been a duet. It might have been just a partner dance.
Could have been just a group dance, and it was just you and someone else on stage at the time. I don't know what that would have been.
No,
I do remember seeing a tiny Cayden dance though.
I probably was there. Yes.
No, the Rosado seems like a lot of work.
Yep.
And I'm glad my sister is not dance anymore. Although I'm glad I did get to go see the Nutcracker this year. It was very well put together, and I enjoyed myself a lot. Got to see Cayden come on in the Nutcracker suit.
Yep, that was me.
And then I got to see Madeline throw a shoe at Delaney. That was funny. How do you guys feel? It's your last Nutcracker. Like, what was your guys' like? What were you guys feeling after the last show?
I mean, I wasn't really all that sad because, I mean, I'm coming back in like coming years to watch my sister anyway. So I'm like, even if I'm not really a part of it, it's not like it's going to be the last time I'm there to see it. So I wasn't really that sad about it just because, you know, I it's not like I was never going to see those people again. I literally saw them the next week. So I wasn't really that upset over it. I mean, it was fun and kind of bittersweet because it was my first and only year having a principal role. But, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I was definitely sad, I think, because, I mean, it just reminded me that it was my last year of everything and that I wouldn't see not just those people, but, like, everyone from that I've ever known, because I haven't moved anywhere else besides Warrensburg. I'm moving away once I can, but, you know, it just reminded me that it's my last time seeing everyone, and that's obviously sad to think about. But.
Yeah, like, it was sad, but I didn't, like, break down over it, I guess.
So it was
kind of just, like, get my pictures with people for memories, and, all right, cool, time to go home.
So the feeling was there, but it wasn't, like, shedding tears.
Yeah, I did not cry.
Well, I mean, I just don't cry anyway, but if I was a crier, I probably would have teared up a little.
I think also part of it is just because I'm not super close. Like, I'm not super, super close with everyone, so it's kind of just like, okay, we still have competition season, so.
Yeah, how do your guys' toes go from, like, the base of your feet to up on the very tip?
Well, I mean, we don't, but
Yeah.
for other
I was
people,
gonna say, we're
like,
not point
they
dancers.
just point their foot really hard, I guess.
Well,
and I think it's just something that you get used to
ankle
after a
strength.
while.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, once you have, like, basic muscle memory, you can just, like, go up into susu just, like, whenever you want.
Because there's, like, ankle strength into it, and then with the point shoes, there's, like, a box in there. It's not like it's not like your toes are just on the floor. Like, there's stuff in the shoe that, you know, help with, like, the balance and everything. But I couldn't really tell you how that feels, so.
I've worn one of my friend's point shoes before, and they didn't really fit me. They were way too small. But I remember the thing that surprised me was that just like I was entirely on my big toe and not any of my other toes. Like I was expecting to be more even somehow, which looking back I guess was stupid. But yeah, I was like entirely on my big toe. So
Have you ever, like, because I remember during the Nutcracker, this girl Audrey was, like, texting in the group chat how she, like, sprained her knee or her ankle because she leaped wrong. Have you guys ever, like, gotten injured during a show? Or, like, been in, like, pain?
I can't remember during a show, but I've definitely done it a few times, like, the week leading up to it. And then I have to do the show on, like, a recovering ankle. I've done that a few times.
I mean, I was getting over pneumonia at a competition one time, and I had to leave the stage halfway through because, like, I couldn't breathe. But other than that, really just dealing with my knees. Because they've gotten better over time, but it's just something I'm always going to have to deal with. So, I wear my braces and don't make them worse. That's about it.
Do you think, like, having, like, the experience with dance and everything has, like, benefited you in a show choir?
I would say so.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for sure. I mean,
That's just a given.
like, you know what you're doing and you pick it up a lot easier and it becomes muscle memory faster, I feel like, because it's moves you've done for, like, years on end. So I kind of just treat it like every other routine.
What would you say, like, the hardest part of, like, choreo is for you guys?
Probably just the order of it. Just remembering what comes next. I mean, that's the case for anybody, though.
Because, I mean,
like-
for me, once I put specific things with specific words or, like, specific parts of the song, it's I mean, pretty easy from there, but I feel like just going over it in my head is just something I do automatically.
So, you both are in chorale and show choir. What made you guys like want to do choir? Pretty much.
And nothing else to do. And I wasn't good at any sports growing up, so
You probably could have been a demon at football.
No, I did flag football when I was little, and it was really bad.
I mean, I did football. I mean, I got injured, but like, that's because JV. Yikes.
I mean, I played soccer and basketball. We're not even going to talk about basketball. That obviously wasn't going to work out. But I played soccer for a while growing up. It was never really my thing because people were always so much more competitive than I was. And, I mean, it's a sport. I get it. But it just wasn't my thing. And I've always enjoyed music and singing and stuff like that. So I've always kind of had a thing for choir.
So, Cayden, more on the sports side. Do you think like would you consider like show choir and like just like CSA in general a sport?
So I wouldn't consider the entirety of CSA a sport, but if you do the competitive dance side of it, then that is a sport. Just because it falls under all the definitions of a sport. Like, there's nothing that makes it not a sport. So
I feel like the only stigma that people like to put on it is like, oh, you know, you're not competing against another like team like one-on-one. It's like you're literally competing against everybody there.
That's like the same as like a tennis match.
Yeah.
You're not competing against one team.
Yeah.
Often competing against many teams. Or like a track meet, you're competing against many teams.
Would you say it's like compared to other sports, where would you rank it among like one of the hardest?
Dance was one of
like it's
the
very
it was ranked as one of the hardest jobs a couple years back under like firefighter or something.
Yeah.
I think it was like firefighter number 1 and then dancer number 2. So it's definitely.
I feel like compared to like most of the sports that we have here, not just because they're high school sports, but in general, I feel like it's a lot harder than
I feel
a
like
good handful of the sports we have here.
I feel like the only reason it would be hard for like other sports is like due to the fact that a lot of them are outside, and especially like when I played football this year, it was boiling outside, and let me tell you, we had to do 300 up downs one practice. It was not fun, and like every time I remember, I would be like drenched with sweat. It looked like I got out of the shower. So
I mean, it's not like dancing's like strictly inside. Like we've danced outside for like the parade and such, but
yeah,
I feel like it just depends.
Yeah, I feel like it a lot of the times when it comes to like harder things, it kind of depends on like a lot of things. Because like, well, yes, we were in the heat a lot. We also had the chance to get like water breaks. I don't know how often you guys get water breaks and everything, but
You just,
Whenever you're not on stage, you can
yeah,
take one, so.
if you're not actively performing. I mean, even during class, sometimes we'll take a break and go get one, but it really just depends if it's like competition or not, how often you're on the stage.
So, what do you think the hardest part of choir has been for you guys?
Choir?
Yeah.
Not quitting.
That's real.
Do you mean like chorale or like show choir?
Just in like general.
Show choir wise, how do I want to word this? I guess it's just like, I feel like this year, you know, there's specific people maybe that are just like, you know, if you're gonna do what you're doing, why are you here kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I've noticed a lot of people, it's like they still have that mindset of like, oh, this is an easy A, like I don't have to do anything in this class, but like it's not though. Like it's an auditioned group, you're expected to do things.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's kind of just been a people thing this year, or at least for me, not really with both groups, kind of just specifics, but I feel like that's going to be how it is everywhere. So I don't really have many issues with chorale. It's more of just I haven't been in a traditional choir for a while, so I guess just getting back into that. But
Nah, I mean, I think show choir and choir are pretty easy, so I don't really.
well, yeah, they're easy.
I
easy,
fly by them. I don't think about them outside of the class. So.
If I'm being completely honest, a lot of the time, show choir for me. I've never danced before, like competitively or just like on the regular. The only dance I know how to do is the When It's Gone TikTok dance from Mariah Carey. But I feel like for a show choir, it's just like, because I would say I'm pretty athletic, so it's not even like just like the endurance. It's just like remembering and like doing the dances. And then for chorale, I mean, chorale's pretty easy. I would just say like the fact that me and Anthony kind of have to like, I guess, put more, like try hard pretty much because I love Vice, but half the time he doesn't know what he's doing. It's funny to see, but like we need to work with him. But Vice is the GOAT. I love Vice. So, Cayden, how do you feel about like being a bass and having
How do I feel about being a bass?
yeah, like you're
You
literally
know, that's where my voice settled, I guess. I don't know.
no, because more or less like I would say like every bass besides like Caleb is more like baritone tenor. Like
Well, I wouldn't consider myself a baritone tenor, but probably a baritone bass. Yeah, I'm one of those. But I mean, I don't have any control over that, so I just sing where my voice is comfortable.
I mean, we have sung Happy Birthday in like soprano tone, so what would you say like is like your biggest flaw when it comes to like dancing?
Comes to dancing, people judging me. Probably.
Yeah, I agree.
Cause I don't know. Because like most things I'm like, I don't really care what people think. But other things I'm like, this is really bad. I know everybody's watching me and knowing that it's not good. But it's also like everybody knows I'm not going to do good in this. So do I need to worry about that? No.
I agree. Over the last couple of years, I've started to really not care as much just because my whole kind of thing is like, if I've never really been close with them to begin with, I don't really feel a need to care as much. But I say that, and then when it comes to like my solo and such, because I've done solos for the last couple of years, and that's probably when I start to care more, because it is quite literally just a show of my skill alone rather than where I contribute as a group, because I know I'm like not at all one of the strongest dancers, but you know, I would still like to be seen that I am doing good things, I guess.
I wouldn't say that it's not that I don't care. I just stopped caring what other people think, and I just did the class and did what I've been doing my whole life. So.
All right, if either of you guys could like do another sport, would you guys like do it?
I mean, yeah, if I was good at it.
Like, what sport would you guys want to do?
Probably baseball. I think I'd have fun with baseball.
Be the next Sam Slob?
I totally could.
I'd probably go back to soccer if I wouldn't have as many issues with it as I would, but...
Okay, I would,
because I enjoyed it.
I would do basketball. I love the game of basketball. I love how it's played. I'm a big Texas Tech fan, even though we suck. Dang. Never seen a worse basketball team in my life. We lost to some no-name school the other day. That's besides the point, though. But I feel like with my size, I could be, like, decent at it. I have to be the worst shooter of all time. My jump shot is terrible. I could see Cayden, like, being a shortstop.
In a shortstop?
Yeah.
Thanks. I did a lot of basketball in freshman year because of gym class. Because I didn't take weights, I took normal gym, and we played a lot of baseball. And so I got pretty good at it freshman year, but I haven't touched a basketball since, so I don't know how to do.
What did you play when you played soccer?
I was defense usually. I don't know why, but that's what they put me on.
Would you say, like, how competitive would you guys say you have been, like, throughout your, like, life when it comes to, like dance, choir, like, sports, etc.?
I mean, I want to do well, but obviously this goes for if I were to do any sport. It's just a game, so.
Yeah, like, I would like to do as best I can, but I'm not going to, like, lose my mind over it if we don't place first or something.
I feel like, for me, it kind of depends on, like, the situation and, like, how I feel on it. Because, like, with band, show choir, and football, I feel like I want to like excel and I want to be the best at it. But then some things like, I guess like concert band or chorale, I'm just like, I mean, I'll try, but I'm not gonna like practice too much.
Yeah.
I feel like there's like specific things in some of the things I do, like with dance and show choir. I feel like there's just specific aspects where I'm like, maybe we'll do well, maybe we won't. Like if I see as a whole we're not improving, then I'm like, okay, I mean, we'll do our best, but whether or not we do well is, up to all of us. But I mean, with dance, I've noticed in the last couple of years it even has kind of started to depend on the competition, because some competitions we like always do great at, some competitions, we don't always do amazing at, even if we have like the best performance ever. So it kind of just depends, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's just the opinion of someone else. So
Would you guys say like you guys had a big role model? Because I know for me, my role model when it came to football and stuff, and the things that I did was James Saffold. I wanted to be like him. Do you guys say like during your life, during dance, you had a role model?
I don't remember. It would have been a long time ago.
I mean, Rachel, what was her last name? Grindy, yeah, Rachel Grindy. I mean, I looked up to her a lot because she was in my life for like the first couple years when I was in dance, but then after she left, it was not. I didn't really have one after.
Yeah, there was
that.
definitely like a chunk of people that after they graduated,
Yeah.
I just stopped looking at the oldest people as the oldest people.
Mm-hmm.
But
Like, I looked up to Sam and Christina a lot, even though they're literally just a year older than us, but like the difference between, some of the things I could do and then like them, astral kind of level. Like, they are amazing dancers, but I mean, I wouldn't really call them my role models. It's just, I want to be able to do that someday kind of thing.
So they were kind of just like a motivation booster.
I guess.
I guess I just saw them as more like
Like-
people, I guess, and less as like a dancer, more as just a person that can dance,
Would you say like you guys have had any rivalries over the year that like kind of like boosted you to try and get better?
Not really, no.
No, nothing like that. I mean, because we are one team, just trying to get the same thing, so no, I wouldn't say there are any rivalries.
Yeah, I wouldn't really say I'm like out to go be better than someone. Like, I'm really only trying to improve for myself at this point, and at any point. Like, if anything, I just want to improve so my sister has someone to look up to, since she's 11 and only just now getting into competing and such. So
How does like competing work? Like, what competitions do you guys like go to and everything?
I mean, there are different ones. They all basically follow the same like outline, though. Basically, it's separated by like age and experience, which most of the younger people are going to be beginners. Most of the older people are going to be like
intermediate to
experts.
advanced, yeah.
So, but it's separated by age, experience, and the amount of people in the group.
And then as well as like genre of dance.
Yeah, well, not so much for
Well,
the competing
not
aspect.
for the competing aspect, but
And so you really just go against people who are like roughly the same size, same age, and same experience as you. And then, I mean, it's just whatever the judges
yeah,
think
it's
are the
just
best.
whatever the numbers say at that point.
So, out of all the dancers you've danced with, who would you say has been like the best?
Well, I mean, like every year it gets better.
Yeah.
You don't. I mean, like last year you were like, oh, nobody's going to be as good as some of those seniors, but then this year, like a lot of people stepped up, and you're like, oh, okay. Obviously, I mean, like people last year were amazing, but there were definitely some people who are like up there now,
Yeah.
and definitely like are finishing their year strong and want to finish their year strong.
Yeah, and especially those that want to pursue a career in dance, like they're actively building that up.
Would you say like a lot of people in center stage have like amazing work ethic, or are there some who could work?
I definitely think that like work ethic is part of the deal. Like you have to want something
Yeah,
to
'cause,
keep
I mean,
going back.
Otherwise, why would you do it?
Because it is just a big chunk of your life, and it is such a major, lifestyle change, and you have to miss out a lot of things. So if you don't want to work towards it, then you're like not.
Well, and
really
especially since,
doing something right.
most of the kids in our grade, like most of us seniors have been doing it since itty bitty. Like, we've been doing it for a long time. So if you didn't have the work ethic and didn't want to do it, why are you still doing it, kind of thing? Like,
Would you say dance has been, like, really fun for you? Or, like, would you say it's been, like, fun? Or would you say it's been, like, stressful?
I would say a little bit of both.
I mean, yeah, it's both. But the actual dancing part is more stressful, but, like, all the stuff outside of that. Like, all the people that you meet and all the connections
team
that
building.
you make and all that, you know, it's more fun, and you enjoy that, and you don't want to leave those people, and, yeah.
Like, I enjoy the competition aspect, I think, above everything else. But I also enjoy getting to see, like, the new younger kids and, like, see how, you know, like, their eyes literally glow when they're watching us older kids dance. Like, you know, because I used to be the same way. And I just enjoy being able to see, you know, all the joy on people's faces, getting to do something that they enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, even at competitions, like, I mean, there have been a few exceptions, but usually people are, like, super nice and, like, want everyone to do well. Because no one's, like, directly stopping you from getting a certain, like, your goal, but, like, they are still going against you at the end of the day, but they are still supportive of everyone. And
like, I feel like between show choir, like, with show choir, like, our rivals, Harrisonville, I feel like center stage doesn't really, I feel like dance in general, most
that's because
studios
whenever
don't
you
have
go to,
a
like, dance
specific
competitions,
rival.
you don't find, like, the same
Well,
dance studios everywhere you go. I mean, yeah, there are some that,
There
like,
are some, depending on
like,
the regionals you go to.
like every year, if we go to the same one, like, we'll see the same studios at the same competition, but we would see them multiple times in 1 year, you know.
But I feel like there's really no direct, like, one-on-one rivalry.
What would you guys say has been, like, the most memorable moment in dance for you?
I don't even know. I don't really.
I mean, I feel like my first production line has a special place in my heart because, I mean, it influenced this year a lot. Like, my first production line was Footloose, and that's why I did Footloose this year. Not connected. They're not even remotely the same production, but, you know, it's just, it was fun. I enjoyed it, so that's why I did this production, and I enjoyed that one too. So I feel like a lot of the first big productions I was part of just eventually kept building and influencing other ones.
I don't really have any memorable moments. I guess a lot of dance fused together for me. I think most of it fused together except for, like, last year and this year felt separate. Well, actually, I think all of high school felt separate. But, like, other than that, it was all the same year.
Do you think, like the people in dance or, like, dance itself, or, like, they made you who you, like, the person you are today?
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's with anything.
I mean, it's a big part of me. So.
Yeah, whatever group of people you find yourself around influence how you act around new people, around old people, you know. Everyone notices a difference in you whenever you're around new people.
I definitely think it's become, like, a big part of my personality because, I mean, I am more in the arts than I am, like, generic sports or, like, academic things and such. Like, dance has solely influenced, like, my show choir, my regular choir, and, like, my theater. Like, all those things have all been influenced by dance. So.
Would you say, like, what would you say, like, would you prefer, like, to do, like, if you had to drop on a phone, would you prefer to do, like, theater, show choir, like, just regular dance?
I'd definitely choose dance. I think anytime I just choose that. Just because there's people there, people that I'd rather be around than any of the other groups of people that I've been around, so.
I think I would agree. I mean, I'm too new to theater to really pick that anyways, because I've only been in theater this 1 year. And show choir, I don't know. I feel like it's not as much of a team bonding thing that I have at center stage. So.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming on and doing this with me. I really appreciate it.
Woohoo.
But